Okay, so this is the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is the prequel to the Binding of Isaac, the normal Binding of Isaac. They remade the game in Flash because they can reach a wider audience doing that. So this is the first one. I've played about 500 hours at this point, so I'm something of an ace. So we're just going to jump straight in as Cain, as we get to fight, spoilers for anyone who's not played, the secret boss Abel, Cain's brother. This is a really good starting item, as you find other pieces of the baby, because it looks a bit like Frankenstein, as you can probably tell, and then eventually it will help us fight. It becomes its own creature, not just one that follows us about. I really like, just saying about how it was remade, I really like the art style. I mean, being nearly 10 years old, it stood up really well. I mean, you don't find many Game Boy Color games that look sort of as good as this does. You know, it's got a distinct style. Playing it on the Game Boy Color was actually like a lot more effort than it is just to play it sort of on an emulator. So, you know, that's one thing I'm glad for, I guess. On the first floor, all we're going to try and do is get some money together. That's really a good drop. With this, we actually get to fight the Pooh boss as a secret on the first floor. So if we unlock that, now I can't pick that up yet, just interrupting, because that will actually kill me if I pick it up before the boss. We didn't get the secret Pooh boss. This is just the normal one. It is dropping Poohs though as part of the fight, because we picked up the lucky Pooh, you see. So, you know, it makes things a little bit more difficult, but it's worth it, because we do get some secret items possibly a bit later on from these sort of things. So the wooden spoon's good. It's one of a set. There are 3 items in the food set, where if you get them all together, you actually recover health just by walking around, I assume. So it's like a passive, like eating, I guess. So that's a really good drop. Not much to say, to be honest. They're pretty irritating enemies. As you can see, doing fairly well for health. Any damage I do take is probably because it's unavoidable, because it is impossible to actually do the game without getting hit. You know, that's a statistical certainty. So anytime I do take damage, like then, you see, that just couldn't be avoided. That was just impossible to avoid, even for a pro player such as myself. So we are doing fairly well, to be honest. This is a bean. It's a question mark bean, and it actually gave us gas. So that was the Pooh. Again, you see, it unlocks secret effects. And this is the Book of Shadows. As it said, it's temporary invincibility, so the book doesn't last for the whole game. It actually runs out if we hold on to it too long. So, you know, we should probably try and get some use out of it and then get rid of it, to be honest. These enemies are like little clones of you, and this rock with an X on it, this is extremely high level play. You actually have items inside. You know, no one, unless you're watching like the top sort of YouTubers, know about sort of that. So get yourself blowing them rocks up, and you've really got top level play going on. You know, you can get in there and you can smash it, and you can get your timer and get your boss rush done. There's a lot you can do. This guy is fairly easy, to be honest, for a first boss. We're actually fighting this one because we got the baby in the first item room. It's actually his parent, his mum, because as you know, the story of the Binding of Isaac is you're a spoiled child, and you're actually going to kill your mum because you're spoiled. So that's what we're gonna do. So that's why when you pick up the other baby, the Frankenstein baby, that boss, the ovum, is there because that's its mum. So, you know, we've already killed one mum. Let's go and kill some more. Let's go and murder because we're a spoilt child, to be honest. I need to use this book, the temporary book, because it actually will run out. Normally, it's after a few floors that it runs out. I'm not sure exactly how long it varies, you see. Not that I don't know, because I know everything about the game. It's literally a hidden timer. It's an invisible timer that starts once you pick it up. And at that point, you know, it could be any length of time. Oh, really, these enemies, these crabs, I really dislike them. They're impossible to dodge. I don't know how anyone does it. As you can see, when I walked into that heart then, I can't pick it up because I've got no health bar anymore. I'm practically immortal on this floor, so we don't really have to worry too much about an awful lot. And there's a goat's head. I was going to say cow's head. There are two, you see, that look really similar, but that is the goat's head. So we can't actually pick up the cow's head now because you can only get one of the two farm animal, you know, heads a run. It's a set, but you can only actually get one of them. So it's probably the better of the two. The cow head does have some other benefits. More health is one of them. That's important on this floor anyway. So really, it's a bit pointless, to be honest. The go ahead though is a good pickup. It means that if we run into enemies with the horns, we can actually do damage to them. So that might be useful a bit later on. This is a shop, if you've not seen one. I don't know how much anyone has played of the game, so you know, we're going to pick up this blue heart, even though I've got no health. I know it seems pointless, but bear with me because it'll all become apparent. And we're also going to get another bean. It gives us some speed, and we've gone yellow because that's the aesthetic of speed, is yellow. I've always thought these enemies were a bit like Diglett, obviously apart from if they pop out of the ground, I guess, is why I thought they were a bit like Diglett. There are actually triple ones like Doug Trio, so I assume it was actually based on the Pokemon, because there's a lot in this game that's based on other things. So this is the devil that we fight. It's the baby devil. There are actually 4 devil fights in the game. This is the first one, and if we kill all the devil, we actually get to go to hell as a secret level. As you see, invincibility. We've still got the book. This wasn't the time that it ran out, so to be honest, we're already on to a winner. Just a few more shots. You see, it's fairly easy. The Frankenstein baby, it's pretty trivial, to be honest with you. And we actually unlocked the hell room because we kill one of the devils. Every time you kill one of the devil bosses, you actually get a devil room. And now we could pick up that white heart because we killed the boss it didn't kill, as you see. There's some more crabs. Let me just clear these out before they cause trouble. As you see, there are 2 hell items. We get Crying Moon and also Clockwork Key, which we're going to pick up. Or Brimstone. I think it's been renamed in the new one as Clockwork Key because I don't know why it was called Clockwork Key. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. So what happens now is we actually shoot that big laser beam, and that's permanent. That's all the time now. We can actually get an upgrade as well to get our baby Frankenstein to shoot another laser beam. And here's another bean. That was Pheromone Bean, which was a pink cloud. That has literally no effect on the game whatsoever. It just makes us smell good, to be honest, which, you know, we are carrying around a poo. It's probably a good idea because any enemies with noses are going to be put off, which can make chasing some enemies like pretty difficult, to be honest with you. You know, they will evade your character if you smell too much, and that means even though we've got this laser, it can be quite difficult to hit them, and we don't want that on some bosses especially because it can cause a lot of trouble. So if we get another pheromones again, we'll become even more attractive to enemies, just simply because of our smell. Like having an amber plugin in your home, I guess. And as you see, here's another rock with an X on it. We're literally playing like the pros. Well, I am a pro. You lot, though, can play by proxy through me and enjoy the halcyon days of X rocks. So there's not an awful lot. We are looking for the secret room, which is right here. We do have some keys for the secret room, so you know, we've actually unlocked an injection, one of them. There's 3 injections, there's a green and a purple one, and this one seemingly didn't do anything at all. I think we're a bit faster, that's about it, to be honest. We can actually go to boss mode if we kill our mum within 20 minutes, so we are gonna try and do that. And as you see, I ran into it too quick to show you, but the shape of the items in that room was a backwards N. You do actually collect rooms with letters in, and it's hard to explain. They're sort of like runes. It actually spells Leviathan around the edge. The 5 letters around the edge of a pentagram, so that's one of them. We found one of the 5 rooms to fight another devil, so hopefully we'll get to fight another one, and then we might get even another hell room with another item in it, you know, because they're extremely useful. This is fairly trivial, to be honest with you. This started out as a mini-boss, actually, in one of his other games. And then I think it's just been put in as a bit of a joke, to be honest. This is Mum's beanbag. So, we can see forever. We've hit puberty, which does have an effect later on. It unlocks some later levels now we've grown up. So when we kill Mum, we can actually go further. We've got some more health out of it, so we can pick up that heart. We are also one step along into becoming a wizard. That's the first one there. So this is evil Santa Claus. If you know any of your mythology, in I think it's sort of like Northern Europe, maybe. Santa Claus will actually shoot a laser beam at you if you're naughty. So we've got the dead Krampus. So we're going to take his head because the book is temporary, so that is going to run out eventually. So, you know, let's see what else we've got. I think we're looking pretty cool as a character. It's a shame we haven't found any more Frankenstein parts for the baby though, because, you know, that can get us pretty far. I'm not going to go in there because that's actually a trap room. It's hard to tell, but over the door there's an X. I think they're meant to look like swords. It's a bit hard to tell, but once you see them, I'll just point with my mouse. See there? They're trap rooms, so if you go in there you will get hurt, so it's best to avoid them, to be honest with you. These guys, I always imagine are sort of like failed ones of you that have got the clockwork key and then have become corrupted, I guess, you know, or died maybe, or they've lost their heads certainly, so something's happened to them. I don't want to use Krampus' head because it actually is extremely powerful, but it does take quite a few rooms to recharge again, so I'm probably just going to wait until we fight a boss, I think, to use it. Here's another blue heart. I'm going to kill that poo as well, just because I don't like them. Okay, here's the secret room. We've still got some keys, and here's a giant pickaxe. With this, if you find one of the secret rocks on the level, we can actually break through to an underground floor. I'm not going to take it though, but if we find a secret rock, we can come back for it. You can actually mine diamond with it as well if you find one of those, but they're quite rare, so we probably won't. With diamond, you can obviously use that to trade for money or buy some items sort of later on in your shop. So, the Emperor, we can actually go and challenge the Emperor if we use that, but I don't think we're actually powerful enough to sort of beat the Emperor yet. So, in fact, yeah, go on. Monstro 2 is actually if you remember Monstro 1 from if you played the game for an earlier floor, in the canon, Monstro actually becomes the king of the underworld. That's meant to be the head of one of the enemies before, where they'd lost a head. It's the story actually doesn't make sort of total sense, but the head comes off and then got a life of its own, and this is the second version of that, and that's the boss of the underworld. So we've got the belt, and that means that if we get a pants item, we actually won't lose it if we flee a floor. And we actually got another hell room, but because we didn't kill a devil boss, there's no items in it. It's just red chests, which we've got some more beans. That is, again, you see, because we've got the poo. We've got another stage forward, so we can actually go even further after Mum. Now there's 3 of those. This is Guppy's head, which when we use it actually makes 4 flies around us, so that is actually a better choice. And we got some more flies because we used Guppy's head first. If we'd have got that first, we could have actually got 2 sets of flies, but you know, in the long run I don't think it's going to be statistically important, to be honest. So this again, if you look, I'll point, this is another trap room. You've got to actually unlock this one to go inside, and you get a prize for going in, but I don't think we're going to, because we haven't actually got time to find the switch. So we only got 2 flies that time. That's not brilliant. We need to collect sort of 25 to 30 flies across this floor, and sort of the next one, and then we can sort of take on some of the more challenging bosses. Hopefully we'll get to fight Abel, the secret boss for Cain. So you know, that's a battery, a plug-in battery, so we're not going to pick that up because we don't need it. We've got no electronic items, so you know, if we had some it'd be really cool. It's a really good drop, to be honest with you, but at the moment it's not really significant. This is actually a room where it bugged out. There's quite a few spawn of them in the remake, in the Flash version. They actually took these out because, you know, it's just an empty room with spikes, and it is actually a bug, to be honest. So it does mean though that you do remove one of the more difficult rooms from your rotation or your room thing, you know, your floor plan, so that's not bad. We've got another secret room and enough keys. We actually unlocked a bra. It's your mum's bra. With this, if you use it on your mum, she'll actually flee the fight, and you get to fight her a bit later on. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to kill her at the first opportunity, because she does get quite a bit more powerful, and we're not really in a position, because we've only got this floor, this is where we fight her, to then beat her later on. We've not got anything we can really power ourselves up with, so we're just going to stay as is at the minute and see what is in our shop. To be honest, more blue hearts is probably good, and I'm always a sucker for a bean. Another puberty, there's the 3rd one, you see. So now we're going to have to get to the final levels if we make it that far, which, to be honest with you, I don't think there's much doubt of. So it's just a bit trivial at this point to clear a lot of this out, because we've had some extremely good luck, and to be honest, I've played pretty well. All the damage I've taken is fairly unavoidable, as it is actually impossible to do the whole game without getting hit at least once, just because of the way the game's been designed, to be honest with you, for better or worse, I guess. So we're doing fairly well. I wonder if we're actually going to be able to unlock Abel in this run, because you don't get to fight Abel every... Obviously I don't know how well you know your sort of Bible or your religious knowledge, but Cain killed his brother Abel, so we get to do the same if we unlock Abel in this run, but we might just go for the more traditional ending, and just go and fight Jesus instead. Oh, where did you pop up from? I'll ignore that. Okay, so now we get to murder our mum. This one you see, she's red because she's been enraged. That's as we've got the puberty to the max level, so she's also grown older as we've grown older. Meaning that you can go further in the game, because normally the game ends here if you don't get any puberty, you see. Right, so... Oops! Got trapped against the rock, I think then. Just to say, to be honest, it's a fairly tense fight. It's a fairly difficult boss, to be honest with you. Okey doke. These are 2 items. We're going to pick this one up, which is the Polaroid. and we've now chosen our fate, which becomes quite apparent a bit later on. This is the heart shovel. This means if we do find any sort of red ore, heart ore, we can dig them up for hearts. This is the paw, and then also the Necronomicon, however it's pronounced. I'm not going to take any of them because they're not really important. We have actually got a cat's head, so that's further along than the cat's paw. You can get the cat's tail first, then the body, then the paw, then the head, but the head's a more powerful trinket out of all of them. We have got the poo drop here because we've got the poo already. I don't think we're going to take anything though, because we do actually have to fight all 27 bosses in a row. And if we die, we go back a level, which I don't fancy doing, to be honest with you. So let's see where this takes us. We have actually only collected 4 blue flies, which is it's not brilliant. We do need 25 to 30, as I say, so we shall be on the lookout for more as we progress. These guys are also a bit like Diglett when I look. I think it was sort of like Pokemon was quite a major influence on Ed McMillan when he made these games. I mean, you can see it in quite a lot of things. Also as well, just because I hadn't noticed, we haven't found any more Frankenstein baby parts. I mean, we've got just like the basic Frankenstein baby, which isn't brilliant. I mean, at the beginning, it's a fairly good item. Once it becomes sort of more automatic and, you know, runs around itself sort of damaging enemies, it becomes really quite important. I also actually nearly walked in the trap room. So, there you go. If you don't keep your eyes peeled, you might actually fall foul to the wicked traps of the Binding of Isaac. Not much to say. We do need as much money as possible because there is actually a shop at the end of the game where you can buy items for New Game Plus. So we're probably going to try and do that, because then on the next run we'll have something quite exciting to be getting on with. These guys are good. These splitting guys. I just like the design of them, really. You need to kill these really quickly because they actually spawn. You know, they don't do anything themselves, but they actually spawn other enemies. I think with this one, we're just going to go straight into the boss, which is Loki. Now, as you remember, Loki is a big figure in Christian mythology, actually tricking Eve into eating the snake in the Garden of Eden. Ooh, taking quite a lot of damage. It's a difficult boss fight, this, to be honest with you. You know, there's no way to really avoid damage on some fights, so we have to be really careful. That is the Lucky Sevens, but we're not going to pick that up either, just because it's not really going to be important to us. Because we haven't had any more luck items nor playing cards, so we can't play any cards to win. And we haven't got a slot machine with us, so there's not much point really getting that. Here's a devil. We need to kill as many of these as possible, because they do actually give us keys if we kill enough of them. So we've only managed to kill 2, I think, in this run. Oh! Look at these darling babies. Haven't they got lovely faces, these guys? There we go. Oh! We've actually got a black lipstick. I'm going to take that rather than the poo. Just because I don't think the poo is really going to benefit us any further, because there isn't any poo or poo items. And there's no other poo bosses, actually, at this point. And PB, we've already had the 3 PB unlocks, so again, that's fairly useless at this stage, but it's a bit of a laugh. I like the noise, but it makes it nothing else, so... And we're running out of flies really quickly, you know, it's really getting difficult. I can't seem to collect many because the enemies keep stealing them. Oh, let's kill that quick before it spawns an enemy. There we go. Okie doke. So after this floor, we do actually go into the 2 secret floors, one of which will probably be Hell, as we have unlocked 3 Hell rooms, and that's what you need to go to Hell itself. There are a couple of other sort of variation ones, but that's the best, and that's the one I imagine we'll probably go to, so we shall keep our fingers crossed for that. Which we can do with that guy. That's a beggar. If you give him money, eventually he will unlock some items for you, sort of in the shop and things, but I don't think that's really important for us. at the moment, and we're actually in really well for health. I mean, you can only get sort of 6 or 7 red hearts maximum, so to have sort of 4 at this stage is really good going. You know, we're in a really strong position to kill Mum's head when we get to fight it, and then later on Mum reformed, so, or the devil actually, because we fought only one devil enemy, so the odds of us getting the devil himself is a bit low. If we go to hell though, we do have a large chance. Because some people say, just sort of on the subject, that it's really difficult to sort of work out the level progression or the bosses, or to keep up with any number of sort of like invisible counters and timers, but it's all fairly intuitive, you know. There's only sort of like 7 or 8 different sets of bosses you can fight, with the respective drops along the way to unlock further paths. And even then, all told, there's only sort of like 12, maybe 13 paths in total. You know, it's not really that confusing. But you know, I have played a lot in the Binding of Isaac, so it just goes to show, doesn't it? Right. I am looking for some secret rocks because they can actually give us. I don't know if that's one. I can't see properly. No. It was worth a go. Well, I don't think we really need bombs at this stage because, well, they're not going to do anything for us. We haven't got any bomb upgrades. We haven't got the bomb launcher. We haven't got grenades, which, you know, you do get a fair amount actually. So, to be honest, I'm getting them. Right, now we need to kill Mum's baby. This is you from the future that you fight now, so we're just going to see how well we do. Do you know when you're in a tense situation where you can't talk? That's where we are now. Oh! A lot of crabs there. I wonder what that boss is called. I actually don't know the names of sort of every boss. There's quite a few. The crab boss, I guess it's called. Oh, where's this little guy going? Oh, be careful. We do actually only have half a health left, which is extremely low. There's been a lot of unavoidable damage, to be fair, and that's just the nature of the game, is that some damage you actually can't avoid at all. I'll get killed by that last shot. So saying all that, a minute ago going to hell, I am actually going to go to heaven at this stage, because it is an easier path, being heaven. Oh, got the cathedral instead. That's sort of like a special variation of the heaven levels, so this is actually more difficult than heaven itself as one of the alternative paths, so we're probably not going to do too well, because I wasn't really accounting for going here, to be honest with you, so we'll see how we do. Here's another beggar. We could actually try and kill this guy, because we actually need to kill quite a few of them to get some further unlocks if we get any further in this, so it's probably a good idea to start. There's normally about 3 on the heaven. Oh, I died to some blood. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.